Jesus, sir, thanks so much for making the time. As you said, you're caffeinated and ready to rock here on a Thursday morning. Pumped to chat and excited for this conversation. And as I said, these conversations, we're fortunate to have them with creator friends of ours of Fluence. And really the purpose is just to learn a little bit about you, a bit about your background, what got you into this, what excites you, what gets you up every day, and what energizes you. Because one thing that I can say is, having had the fortune to meet you over the last few months, is I love your energy and enthusiasm. It is infectious. So excited to hear a little bit about your backstory. So we'll jump on in, shall we? And maybe you just dive in and tell us where were you born, what the story was. Give us a feel for childhood, if you would.
Yeah, I mean, first off, I call it crackhead energy. It doesn't make any sense at all. I don't try to apply logic to the things I do, and it will make a lot more sense when I get into it, but it's just like, you always got to be excited about life. You can't just go out there and expect the world to hand freedom to you. You have to work toward it. And that's what I've always believed in. It's a core belief. I'm born and raised in America. I've got Cuban blood. And anybody that knows anything about Cubans in America is we're practically hyper capitalists. We're hustling because we got to make our parents proud. They came from, you know, just a poverty struck nation, a country. And they said, you got to do something with what you came for here. Like, I didn't sacrifice everything for nothing. And so, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing. I came from a background of no lifing video games, which explains the red eyes. These days, I don't really play video games as much. Crypto is like a video game. Life is a video game. But I was high elo in League of Legends. I hit Challenger in League of Legends. And before I got into this crypto stuff, I used to stream League of Legends on Twitch. I played Tristana, Ezreal, Draven. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you know. And I was one of the best in North America. I just no-lifed the game. Literally, my unique advantage was that I played the game so much, I just dreamt about it. I mean, every little thing in between there. I was thinking of macro scenarios, how I could outplay people, and I apply that same logic to everything I do in crypto. The way I got into this stuff was pretty simple. I used to invest into stocks. I see stuff like XRP. I think it was like Telcoin at the time, which I think they're also doing something in the US now. But at the time they weren't. They were just a pump and dump coin practically. And I get into just buying XRP because I have a group of people yapping at me, and my brother's yapping at me to buy it. I buy a little bit, don't look at it. There's a huge crash, I think somewhere around April, May in 2021. And during that crash, my brother, which was recovering from alcohol, decided to go ahead and do a very high leverage trade. And he lost his entire portfolio in one go. Oh. And so that really sucked. And he was really depressed for really what felt like forever. For his birthday, I decided to give him three cute little axes, because he was the one that got me into video games. And I would cope with, you know, depression, whatever issues I had through video games. So I felt him there. And through those three axes, it's like a miracle. In a week, those axes doubled in value. And instead of just looking at the axes and being like, what if we just kept holding them? And the value keeps going up, which would have been a terrible decision if we did that. I decided to be like, what else can I do? How can I apply what I learned from video games, from the economies of games like ArcAge, Lineage 2? How can I apply that to the crypto space? And it turns out that a video game is still a video game, whether or not you attach money to it. So I just played the same exact rule book, the same thing. And I managed to turn the $700 into mid five figures. And I promised my brother that I would give him half of it. And I did. And so that helped him recover at a time where it felt like there was no solution. And because of that, I decided to make a YouTube channel to give what's called a scholarship program. Because I'd already taken profit breeding the axes and selling the shovels. But I was like, the only reason Axie ran was because of the Filipinos. And so I wanted to make sure that the Filipinos, like, I could give something to someone, because we were still going through the pandemic. So I bought like 20 Axies. I started a scholarship program, and that just led me down this enormous rabbit hole where I've had to do 600,000 different pivots. But thankfully, it has worked out. It has worked out.
Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I love the background. Let's double click on the Filipino community for anyone who's not, like, doesn't know gaming and all that sort of stuff. Explain that just in simple terms to someone who might be unaware.
Well, they're hardcore. They're hardcore gamers. If they can find yield in something, like if they can find a way to make money, they will, because the Philippines is a poverty-struck nation. They don't have access to banks. They don't have access to really anything. And they're just like Cubans. They work just as hard as us, if not harder. And so I have an immense amount of respect for the Filipino community. I mean, one of my hopes and dreams is to go over there and meet the people that I played crypto games with. I spent so much time playing crypto games during the bear market. And I would just kind of compare them to, like, if you're looking for someone that does work right and does things with their best effort, it's a Filipino. It's always going to be a Filipino. When I did my scholarship programs, like, it was really the Filipinos that carried it all. There were other countries that tried, but they just worked so hard.
Yeah, I have to concur with you on that. Absolutely amazing kind of cultural demeanor, and that, like, hardworking attitude, and the kind of similar to, as you said, like Cubans in the US, they all embrace that can-do attitude that may be stereotypical American as such, but there's an Americanization, I guess, of both Cuban-Americans and Filipino Americans, or just Filipinos, obviously through history, and which is a phenomenal part of their culture today, and that definitely benefits them. But let's say, jumping back to the gaming side of things, I love the fact that you cracked the code on, like, hold on here, I can make money with gaming. I can actually, I can affect my family in a positive way. That's a really incredible insight for someone who is super young, and obviously you were even younger at the time. Like, what are we talking, like 5 years ago? That is really interesting.
I was a baby.
You're a baby. That kind of level of foresight, and also just playing the cards that you have around you. Like, you didn't go off and try to generate some side hustle or get into ecom, whatever. You did what you were already dreaming about, as you said, and you turned that into a revenue source. I think that's such amazing inspiration for someone, is that, like, pretty much anything can become a revenue source if you're passionate enough about it and if you put enough energy into it. So I guess, yeah. So am I right in saying it was like 2020, 2021 when you did pull out the camera for the first time? And talk us through that moment. Were you excited about it? Were you a bit of trepidation, or what was your sense of things putting your first video up on YouTube?
I can link you. I have another channel. It's called Crypto 360. You guys can look it up if you want. I think it has like 1,000 subscribers or something like that. That was my first try at the crypto content game. And I actually recorded the video when I was looking into Axie Infinity. The day I bought those Axies, I recorded a video and I uploaded it. I remember that. But even before that, I mean, I would read white papers, like Solana white papers, Ethereum white paper, Bitcoin white paper, like boring stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that was like my crypto content creation arc. But before that, I had what I call it, the European accent arc. So I was so uncomfortable with my camera that I would put like a little frog image instead of my face. And since I dual queued, which is like playing with another person in League of Legends, if I dual queue with so many people in Europe, I would like develop like a European accent, and I was like super cringe about it. Like, I had like a deeper voice because I'd be like, yeah, so this guy is running in. That's terrible. Like, I would artificially change my voice because I was so insecure about it.
Wow.
And I don't know. At some point, I just stopped caring. It's weird. I guess when you do stuff enough, you just desensitize yourself. But I am very introverted. Don't get me wrong. If you saw me in person, if I know you, I'll be like this. But if I don't know you, I'm gonna be kind of cringe. I'm gonna be very introverted. I'm not gonna seek the conversation. It just comes with time. Fair. Talking to a camera isn't the same as talking to a person in real life. It's not the same at all.
No, I respect that. I mean, you built the habit, you kind of habituated the neurons to make this fire and do something that probably comes counterintuitively to your inherent nature, as you said. I'm fascinated that you went for the kind of quote European accent when presumably you're probably bilingual. You're probably like you're Spanish speaking at home with the family. Would that be the back with the brothers and the mom and dad?
Yeah, I talk Spanish. Yo sé cómo hablar español, pero yo hablo como un gringo. I talk like an American. When I went to Cuba,
puedo escucharlo.
When I went to Cuba, because I visited my family for a month around 2018. I can't visit them these days. It's really bad. But back in 2018, they would literally tell me to stop talking around government officials because they had two currencies at the time, the CUP and the CUC. And they would charge tourists the CUC, which is like a bit of a premium on the dollar, versus the CUP, which was like, you get 20 of those for a single US dollar. So if you were a local, you got way cheaper prices. So yeah, I would not be talking at all. So that's why I didn't make a Spanish channel. I tried it at some point, but I'm too much gringo accent.
That's amazing. Well, I mean, you embrace what you have around you, which is definitely, seems to be a trait within you, which I love. So okay, you went for this. You burst through you turned that $700 into multiple five figures. You massively helped your brother, elevate himself out of depression. As you said yourself, you use gaming as a crutch at times when you're feeling challenged. We all go through those, ebbs and flows, and really inspirational the way you handle that. So I guess then at that point, let's say we're talking 2022, 2023, talk us through what's going on. Are you focused on crypto then? Are you focused on making content? At what stage in your mind did you kind of say, hold on, I'm the YouTuber here, like this is my thing?
Well, first I want to say that I didn't elevate my brother out of depression. He got himself out of that, right? Like at the end of the day, money doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a person's ability to get through addiction, to get through what they went through. Like it's all him. He has all the praise there. But what happened with the content creation journey? So let's think back. So during the Axie controversy, I pretty much timed the top. My most popular video on JM Crypto right now is why I sold my Axies. Literally, that's the video. Who even knows how many millions of dollars I influenced to exit that ecosystem? And thank God they did, because it died. But what happened after that video is I started getting into, I think it was top play to earn videos. I was seeing a YouTuber called On-Chain Gaming, which now he's called Jake Browatsky. He makes stock videos now, but at the time he was making like top crypto games videos. And I just started spamming them pretty much. Me and another content creator, Levi, we were brainstorming like constantly on how to tap into this algorithm and see what we can do with it, because we were already making content for League of Legends in the past, so it's not like it was our first rodeo here, but it was our first rodeo actually making money, because we made a little bit of something, but we made a lot of something during that bull cycle, no matter how short it was. We got a couple offers, a lot of it was garbage, and for the most part it wasn't that great until I would say Spider Tanks. That was a game on Gala Games that everybody was trash at, but because I had MOBA experience, which League of Legends is a MOBA game, I had 6 accounts on rank 1 there. So at all of my accounts, I would put the name use code classy, which was my affiliate. and it was a great plan. It worked really well. I mean, we were the dominant creator. Nobody in crypto gaming actually plays the games at a decent level. They all suck at the games. The content creators are busy making content. I was actually good at the games. So I was busy making the content and being good at the games. And that helped a lot. I mean, that was like, oh my God, I can make $100 a day playing a crypto game. Let me publish that. And oh my God, now I'm making 2 to 5K a month just off of affiliate links. That's insane.
That's amazing.
So that was my big penetration into content creation and like learning how to make money. But I've got to be honest, like the bear market in 22 was really tough for me, very tough for me, because I had only been, so the second I made the Axie money, I quit my job to pursue this, okay? So that was like late 2021. I had no idea I could even make money off the crypto content creation stuff still. I just YOLO'd it because I pursued passion. I felt like I could make this work. And during the bear market, everything died. And so I was just like practically month to month trying to survive no matter what I could find. Now, thankfully, I came out of it stronger and we had an incredible little mini bull cycle. But you got to be honest that there are going to be ebb and flows. And I assume a lot of people right now are probably going through that ebb and flow state of like, oh, it really sucks right now. It feels like the world is against me and everything's impossible. But I promise you, if you really want something enough, you will keep going. You're either going to be dead or you're going to keep going.
100%. And I guess that's fueled you through that whole period. So, as you said, the bear market was brutal for you back in 22, 23.
Oh, yeah.
And then obviously things started to kind of pick up then 24, 25. Mm-hmm. And, really at this point, are we talking, 24, 25, you're making multiple pieces of content a day? Like this is your full-time focus essentially.
Oh no, it was my full-time focus in 2021. I was a crackhead. I just started and I used to make 8 videos a day and I'm honest with the fact that I was practically clickbaiting everything. I'd make like 8 videos a day. I'd just find a tweet and try to cover something. When you're starting up, I looked at another YouTuber, I go, oh, he's just generating slop. Let me just do that. Yeah. Eventually you kind of craft your own style, and I'm actually really proud of the style I'm doing right now. I think it's very unique. I don't think a lot of people are doing it.
Yeah,
but
for
like,
sure.
when you're first starting off, you just do things. Like you just do things. Volume. And don't be scared to do it, because a lot of things are going to fail. A lot of things are going to work. But if you don't try it, you're never going to know if it works.
Yeah, I mean, I love that advice. It's fantastic for anyone really in any industry, but arguably, pretty much everybody is angling towards being a thought leader in their space these days, whether they want to be a YouTuber or whatever. I don't even mean about, people who are on the path to aim to become crypto YouTubers. Like, you could be an accountant, whatever. People are producing content on pretty much every platform. So would you say then, in summary, in your core kind of guidance for someone is just like go for sheer aggressive volume and then over time refine through that model?
Yeah, core ethos is just do things, because in my opinion, if you do not do things, you will never build the habit. And we have ape brains, we're all little monkey brains. We don't think very well. We have neuroplasticity. If we can build a habit, we can do things correctly. And so we just need to keep doing things and keep doing things and keep doing things, build that consistency. And eventually that bad content is going to get better. You're not going to start doing good content. And even I, to this day, we're probably not even making the best content in the world, but it's a lot better than it was when we first started. And that same rule applies with anything that you do. I was looking into Claude Code. I built a landing page. I learned how to do a bunch of stuff. I learned how to make an app. Am I actually using this for my business? Who knows? Maybe in the future I'll do it at some point. But you got to just try things. When I first started doing it, I barely knew how to press the buttons on the keyboard. I went to school for computer science, but it's a very different thing from going to Claude Code and prompting. Obviously it helps, but it's a totally different thing. So yeah, I would say just do things. Just stop with this overthinking thing. We're in an age where doing things has never been easier, it feels like. Like, it's so easy to do things. You just go on Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT or whatever, you just type things and you'll figure it out. So yeah, just get things done. I'm sick of this whole like excuses thing. I did excuses for years. And I would stop my content creation because I'd be like, I want to make better content than my competitors, so I want to take this extra time. But then I'd take the extra time. I would not upload things on time. I wouldn't be proud of things. It's not good for you. Just do things. Yeah,
you'd lose momentum. Absolutely. No, I think it's such simple, purified, and great advice. Like, so two things on that. I guess, how did you shake yourself out of it and get the train moving in a direction that was like sticking to habit? And then secondly is, why do you think it is these days that there's so much freezing? Like, so many folks, we all come across it with friends, family, even ourselves. Like, there's always a sense of, is it overconsumption of content? Let's say, I don't mean just in the theory of producing content, but just producing in general or doing in general. A lot of people are satiated or frozen or static. Like, why do you think that is?
Oh, that's a tough one. So I would say it has something to do with loss of faith in our society. I feel like a lot of people feel like no matter what they do, no matter how hard they try, nothing's ever going to happen. So what's the point? I think a lot of people are tired about our current situation. And I get it. Like, it's very easy to feel tired. I at some points I've felt tired. And even right now I'm waking up, I've been up for like half an hour and I'm just getting things done, right? That's just how things should be. Yeah. And so I would say, yeah, that's probably why people are stuck. It's of course, there's too much dopamine out there. Overconsumption means if you have too much dopamine that's being used, you don't have any creativity left. You don't have any want or need to do something in life. Like, if you're brain rotting on this little thing, you're not going to do anything with your life because you're using all of your brain power with this little thing, this little addiction machine. It's trash. I have my thing just permanently on do not disturb, because if I don't have it, I know I'm addicted to my phone. So I need to make sure I get out of that. I would say the way I got out of it was, it's weird. I feel like it's like you have a wake-up call. Like, sometimes you have a wake-up call and you decide, okay, this is your time to lock in and start doing things. So the first one was definitely during the bear market in 2022. We had an option of either going back to our jobs in hospitality, and it was just gut-wrenching. It was terrible, like awful. 12, 14-hour shifts. It just sucked. It was either that, go back to Miami, which we didn't have the healthiest relationship in the world at the time with the people around us. And it was a bad life to try to live. Or do we YOLO it, go to Northern Florida in this random place with a high crime rate just so we can get a cheap rent and get approved and just try to make this work? And I gave myself an ultimatum. I'm just going to make this work. I don't care. I don't care what's going to happen. And it was really hard. It was really hard. But when you force yourself, you tell yourself, like, this is it. Like, if you don't make this work, you're cooked. You can go back to the 9 to 5 and that's fine, but you have to try. You have to try, Jesus. And so I did, and I managed to use my skills to be the best in the world at crypto games at the time. And, you know, we killed it. We absolutely killed it. And I was able to bounce back because of that. It was just literally constant grinding every single day. I would wake up, go straight to the setup. I'm like a little slave going in and out, but I made it work. And so that was the first one. Then I made a bunch of money. And I think I went through like, I guess you could call it like a lapse in judgment a little bit, where I made a bunch of money. I start going traveling everywhere. I stop caring about the content game and I fall off. I go through what every Gen Zer goes through when they make a lot of money. You just blow through a bunch of it because this is your first time ever having money.
Yeah.
It's a crypto bro thing. And it's, you guys could say that you're not going to do it, but I promise you, when you make a bunch of money, you're probably going to think about it. You're going to think about it. And it doesn't seem like a lot, but it adds up. And so I went through that for a while, and it was only very recently that things kind of flipped for me. I was going on a road trip to Tennessee. We were going to go see a snowstorm because we did it last year. We went to Sugar Mountain, which, by the way, had double the elevation where we were going. We were perfectly fine there. Yeah, I was just driving my little Tesla, having a great time. Over 1,000 miles on FSD, having a wonderful time. And then during that trip, we almost fall into a ditch. We almost fall into a ditch, and I'm not sure I would still be here. So it was very, very far down, very big trees, and so it's kind of like I had a wake up call, like, holy crap, like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
What is my purpose? It's like, what am I pursuing here? And it's just like, what am I traveling just for the sake of traveling because I said I was going to travel? So I come back and I'm like, how can I have some sort of purpose? Well, I'm good at this crypto thing. And I feel like there is a big gap in truth content, I guess is the best way to put it. There's a lot of AI content out there now, but a lot of it's not like truth content. Like, it's not like content that's telling people how it needs to be, and not just telling people how it needs to be in like some beginner sense, like really telling people how it needs to be. I feel like we're really missing that as an industry. So I'm like, that's how I can give value to people. Let me really work on that. And that's been going incredibly well for me. So those lock-in phases, usually there's something that breaks your cycle. There's always something that breaks the cycle.
You're an absolutely fantastic.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
No, you're an amazing communicator. The way you shared that, I really appreciate it. I think like what I take away is like the levels, the ladder steps really that you've gone through. You had that first big kick of motivation. You took a huge plunge to change location, which by the sounds of it is probably something that you'd advise for people when they want to shake off, I guess, the old bad habits, because clearly that definitely got you focused, going somewhere that probably wasn't exactly where you wanted to be, but it suited rent wise, it got you kick started and you just focused aggressively. And then, as you said, you did pretty well. And then you went into that kind of next phase of, naturally, there's a little bit of want for luxury, but then you came back after that kind of frightening accident just to focus on that. It sounds pretty intense. That was obviously a major incident. Was that, you were okay after it, obviously?
Oh, no, I'm not religious. I probably should be because of my name, but I didn't fall in. Like, it was like I was right there. I was like on edge. I was on edge. Like, if you see the picture, I'm like on edge. I'm right there, but I didn't fall. So for me, it was like, holy shit, like that could have been it. So so for me, it's like, what the hell am I gonna do to try to make this worth it?
Totally.
Like, I'm still here for a reason. I believe everything happens for a purpose. Everything happens for a purpose.
Do you feel like that mindset? Because I think a lot of people, that maybe ties in with the societal kind of dismay that some people have. Do you think a lot of folks maybe don't have that sense of I don't mean religious faith, but like faith that things are going to work out? That's something that clearly steers you and motivates you and energizes you. But do you think it took that pivotal moment to, I guess, really light the match?
For me, probably, yeah. I would like to say that I was an alpha male, Sigma God, Chad, that doesn't care, and he just goes to the gym 15 times a week. No, like it did take like a moment of lapse. Like, I had to wait, pause, and absorb, because in this society, it's so difficult to pause. It's so hard to pause. The reason we went to Tennessee is because I was burned out, and I wanted to go to a cabin in the middle of nowhere, like literally in the middle of nowhere. Which is why the road wasn't paved, and what happened. But you have to disconnect. It's so hard to do it. So I would say sometimes it does take something. And if you don't have anything, you can think back in your life, like what really matters? Like, what's the big picture for all of this stuff? What am I doing right now? Am I just living for the sake of living? That's kind of lame.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely something that a lot of people struggle with, given there is just so much information coming at you. And I think, a couple of things that you really hit home on is that, having a device in your hand all day, there's no doubt about it that your grandparents, your great grandparents in Cuba certainly weren't having the luxury of being overly exerted with dopamine. They were, getting down to it in terms of grinding through the days and putting one step in front of the other. So
Yeah.
I think it's sometimes, like, as you said at the start, like, that's giving you the bedrock and the foundation of hard work, which clearly has accelerated your growth to this point, coming all the way from, from gaming as a hobby to gaming as a creator, to crypto gaming, now fully fledged crypto YouTuber. So I guess, as we rapidly kind of move into the second part of this decade, and, you're now really, you are established, you're very much comfortable in this position as a YouTuber, you're locked in as such, you've had your trials and tribulations in the past. Looking forward to, like, the end of this, the next 3-4 years, let's say we're talking 2030, where do you want to be? Where do you see what you're doing, in your ideal vision?
So as much as I'd like to say I would be finished with the content creation game, most people go like, oh, I've gone through a cycle, it's time to retire. I am only 25. So I don't think I'm retiring yet, or in 5 years.
Yeah.
But I do think I probably, to some extent, even if AI takes over and we all become AIs, we're probably gonna have some sort of brand. Branding is gonna be very important no matter where you are. Yeah. Most people make money off of branding these days. So even if I pivot to an AI product or something else, AI will be part of that for sure. I'm not sure if, like, gaming is gonna be a big part of my future. I tried it for a long time. The gaming industry, it turned out to be a lot more corrupt than I thought.
Really?
Wow. I came in for a good reason, and I kind of figured the crypto gaming space was just plagued with pump and dumps and rugs. It was really bad. But I guess you could kind of say that with any industry that's still starting up. There's going to be a lot of fraud. There's going to be a lot of trash. So maybe I'm being a little harsh on them. Let's be honest. Maybe AI gaming is going to make it so easy to build games that I'll build my own game. Who knows? I think it's too uncertain to see where we're going to be at in 5 years. Obviously, financially stable and all, like my health, I'm working on it a lot. I was in 2023, the start of 2023, I was 210 pounds, like 210, 215 pounds. And listen, I'm 5'7". I'm a little shorty. I got a good height with the wife, but like a little shorty. And so I shouldn't be at 210, 215. And I would eat Jet's Pizza every day. I would eat Chick-fil-A every day. I would eat just slop, just garbage slop, just to grind. Didn't think about it too much because I was too young. It was my first time moving out. I learned later on, eating good food is actually cheaper than eating at Chick-fil-A. I didn't know that, but it is way cheaper and it's a lot better for you. Now I'm at 179, so I'm very proud of that. Very, very proud of that.
Yeah, super.
So in the next 5 years, I'm going to be fit, healthy, wealthy, wiser, hopefully as humble as I am today, and hopefully doing something else on top of what I'm currently doing. I just don't see myself stopping. I'm like, you know how people, I've seen these videos before, they're roasting people like Alex Hormozy because, oh, he doesn't stop grinding. He'll talk to someone and he'll be like, oh, I want to make another 100 million. And it's like, you'll see him and be like, well, I have $5,000 in my bank account, or I have $200 in my bank account. This guy's so out of touch. He's such a bad person because he wants another 100 million, right? And I'm like, it's easy to be against the rich guy, and I'm not for him, but I understand the vision. He's a grinder. He wants to push change forward. He just wants to get things done, and he feels like he can provide value, so he's just making it happen. Probably what I'm gonna do. Probably something along the lines.
And very healthy in a way because it energizes you. And I think there's, I think there's a lot of wisdom in what you've shared there. Like health being number one. You've had both your, potential physical trials and tribulations with a potential massive accident. You've had, your health in the personal sense. You've, gotten that under control massively. You're definitely on the much more athletic side of your, let's say, your Gen Z era. And then, I guess you're
I went from a stick to a fatty to, okay, we're getting there.
And then, you've got a much more balanced, I guess, lifestyle, whilst at the same time staying super locked in and really doing what you enjoy. I think absolutely what you said is so valid. There's such a demonization of the kind of Hormozy-esque folks who just really enjoy producing and going after it. But I mean, there's nobody heavily criticizing someone who's out, I don't know, playing tennis every day or whatever they actually enjoy doing. It's not doing anybody any harm. It's certainly it's certainly not detracting of value, the likes of the Hormozy mindset and just constantly producing and giving that value, which when we get back down to it is exactly what you do immensely well. And I think that's the big thing that's come across in our conversation today is like everything you're doing is with humility and it's intertwined with delivering value. So Jesus, super grateful for the chat. I'm definitely pumped for us to reconnect in a year's time and see where things are. We'll have all the links to your channel integrated into the chat here. But I guess maybe as a final question, just for one piece of parting wisdom, if someone was watching this and, they're either producing content in any way, they're attempting to be a thought leader or they're attempting to be, an actual creator or KOL, what would your simple piece of advice for them, when they're on the fence and not feeling the natural enthusiasm, shall we say? What would be your advice for them to keep moving forward?
So I am trying to find the comment, but I don't think I'm going to find it. There was a creator on my X that asked that same exact question. He said that his family, he didn't have the best relationship with his family. He said that as a content creator, he felt like he failed and, he wasn't uploading consistently. Just things weren't going his way. He has a kid, he has a lot of responsibility and it kind of sucks. So my rebuttal was kind of like, well, I've been taking care of my mother-in-law since I was 18, pretty much. And I've been working my ass off to get things done. And it's not to say that you need to beat yourself up and be like, oh, but you're not good enough and you should have been doing better, because it's easy to do that as a person. It's always easy to do that. The fact is he's been making content. He's actually been putting in the effort to some extent and he's been doing things, right? He's showed some level of success. So my answer to him was like, one, you need to start doing things again because you're not doing things. You're overthinking it. He's like, I have 10 ideas. I'm like, I don't care if they're ideas. If you haven't put them on the plate, if you haven't done them, what's the point of having an idea? I can have a million ideas, but if I don't do anything, what's the point of being here in the first place? We're in the age of AI. If you don't do things, if you don't start doing something, you're going to miss out and you're not going to grow. You have to be overabundant, just overabundant in value. And that was a big part of the pivot that we did. I used to make those trashy little videos that people do where it's like, oh my God, very urgent. The price of XRP bar is going massive. This is going to be crazy. And it would be like some really tiny little news piece. Yeah. And it's like, we're past that. People don't trust people anymore. People want value. They want things to actually like take from a video. They want to take value. And so you got to provide value. You got to work your ass off to provide that value. And you got to be consistent with it. If you really wanted it, you got to be consistent. And when it came to his family and the relationship with his family, I mean, it was complicated for me. For a long time, I had a complicated relationship with my family. I was like, oh, they didn't believe in the crypto vision. They didn't believe in the gaming. They didn't believe in anything I was doing. I was called a failure and all these things. And then I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go and prove myself. I'm just going to make this thing happen. And guess what? When I proved myself, it turns out that they were just in a different headspace. They came from a country in which you needed a degree to be successful. You needed this and that, a stable job. And so, of course, now that they've seen what I've done, it makes a lot of sense and they're very proud of it. But, sometimes you kind of have to either prove yourself or move past the relationship. That's just how it works. Yeah. And, I've been married for a year and I've been in a relationship for 9 years. If there's anything about consistency, it's being in a relationship. And so if you really want something, it doesn't matter what it is, you need to just go get it. Because this is part of my little core ethos. My core ethos is that everyone is capable of greatness. I don't care if you're seeing that guy that's on drugs in San Francisco, that he looks like a little zombie or whatever. Even that guy is capable of greatness. Anyone is capable of greatness if they put their mind to it. This brain of ours is so powerful. AI still hasn't cracked it yet. They still haven't cracked it yet. They should have already. But the fact that it hasn't, there's a lot of potential up there. You just have to take it and use it. A lot of people are complacent because they don't think they can really do much more than what they're already doing. They're comfortable with the job that's going to advance them slowly over time. And you can be comfortable with that, but you can also build yourself as a person. So I always tell people there's a competitive advantage to everyone. You'll have a unique thing. You just need to tap into it and just like put the knife in and twist it, just keep going, keep going.
Yeah. Absolutely. Jesus, I have to say you're absolutely a phenomenal communicator, super articulate. I feel like if we're having this chat in 4 or 5 years, I think that you've a future career as a Tony Robbins-esque. Honestly, you get the juices going. Honestly, as you're going there, you're getting me revved. I tell you what, I'm sure as people watch this, definitely get the motivation going. Anyway, look, super grateful for the chat. Really appreciate your time today, and pumped to talk again really soon.
An absolute honor. Thank you so much, Garvin. I'll see you guys in a year, right?
Absolutely.